Maxwell Video Productions and PKT Max take you into the home of the great songwriter Sylvia Rose. To celebrate 31 years of songwriting and to celebrate earning the Gold MVP award, Sylvia Rose graciously consented to sharing some of her history-making accomplishments. The Gold Award is given when videos by a particular artist achieves a view count of 50,000 or more. This exclusive, never-before-seen interview consists of 2 videos. Be sure to enjoy both. And now, here she is, the extraordinarily gifted Sylvia Rose.
Greetings. I'd like to take this opportunity to say hello to so many of you, some of whom I have met personally, some that I have not, but throughout the years you have faithfully sung many of the songs that I have had the privilege and the honor of writing. For those of you who have never seen the face, I am Sylvia Rose. And I was honored when I received the call from Maxwell Video Productions asking me would I assist them in making this video. And then, of course, accepting the honor that has been bestowed upon me. I am celebrating 31 years of songwriting. My first song I wrote in I think I copyrighted it in 1978 while working as an instructor of music at Southwestern Christian College and directing one of the choirs there. I began writing somewhat accidentally. I did not set out to be a songwriter. I was a director of the ensemble at Southwestern. I had come there to assist Brother A. Graham. That ensemble was later referred to by Dr. Jack Evans as SYLVIA Spiritual Heirs. But I had originally thought we were a one-time wonder in that I was asked to take a group to, I believe it was the Cedar Crest Church, to sing. And it was right after school had started. And we didn't, because I had a mixture of freshmen and sophomores, but mostly freshmen, we didn't have time, we didn't know any group songs. And so when I heard that I had to take a group to that church for some event that weekend shortly after school had started, I just met with them and we just came up with 2 or 3 songs to sing. And one of those songs was Wonderful Jesus, and I can't remember the other song. But when we got there, there were other groups there who sang those songs. And of course they're holding Southwestern till the very end. And I sat there realizing we have nothing to sing. So I quietly got up from my seat. I went out to the parking lot and cried because I was so embarrassed. But while out there I said, okay, God, this will never happen again. Now, I don't know what that meant when I think back on it, but I was just determined that I would be more prepared as a director. But I then soon found out that everybody was always wanting to sing what Southwestern sang. Southwestern was the ultimate bar that measured everybody. And as far as the songs they sang and the way they did them. And I didn't realize until that day the pressure that I was stepping into just as an assistant director at the school. But after that night, I left there and went home and wrote a new song. because I said, the next time we sing, we will not have anybody will not be able to sing our songs before we get up. And so that began my writing experience. And the first two songs that I wrote were We've Been Saved by the Grace of God and We're Looking for a Savior. Those were the first two, and Looking for a Savior was then recorded while at Southwestern on a 45, actually. And from then on, I began to write more fluently. I wrote more often because the songs just really were coming quite rapidly. But that was because I was so inspired by the awesome talent of my students at Southwestern. And our rehearsals were even far more exciting sometimes than the performances. And so I credit the inspiration of the students at Southwestern Christian College for many, many of the songs that I wrote during that time. As I said, I am now celebrating 31 years of writing, and it has been a joy to write. One of the things that I'm most pleased with is the hymnal Songs of Faith, because I realized from the songs that I had written for Southwestern that there were many groups who were attempting to sing those songs, but that did not have the Southwestern talent to do them. And so my focus then became on writing music for the average choir, the average singer within the Churches of Christ. Prior to my writing, we got our music from James Cleveland and the others, just as all others choirs did. But James Cleveland was pivotal because he wrote simple songs that the average Baptist choir, the average church choir could do. It had simple melodies. And those songs worked so well for the Churches of Christ because all we had to do was take out the piano. We strengthened the bass line and did not have to do too much. And so I began to study the needs of the singers and of the churches, of the various congregations. And so the first thing that I did was I began to write music that was simplified, that would fit the average voice. Songs that youth choirs could sing as well as adult choirs. Songs that didn't require extensive bass so low that where some college choirs would have those voices that the average choir would not have. And so I modified the voicing. And this is why so much of my music spread so rapidly throughout the Brotherhood, is because it was written for the average ear and the average voice. And just about anybody could do it and do it well. And that was intentionally done. To that end, I developed many years ago a Gospel Song of the Month Club, wherein various directors would join this club, and every 2 months I would send them an original song that was in sheet music. I would have a tape that would teach them the songs, and I did it this way because I also wanted singers to get used to looking at music and hearing the notes. This was my way of somewhat trying to teach them to read music in a simplified way. And so the Gospel Song of the Month Club was very popular, but it limited only a certain number of choirs could join, and that was by intent, because I wanted them to be able to have music that everybody else didn't have. The directors would not be required to buy records or go on the radio to listen to different music. They knew that every other month they would have an original song sent to their choirs. And those songs, again, were written in such a way that the groups, no matter what size they were, no matter what areas, whether it was a group that got the best singers from various churches or just a church group, they could do those songs.